If you're having problem with the virtual lab, I would strongly recommend that you download NetBeans and install it on your local computer. To do that, you open your web browser, go to netbeans.org, and that'll take you to the NetBeans website. And once you get there, you want to click on the downloads button right there, and that'll take you to the downloads page. Make sure you select the latest Apache NetBeans. It seems to be today, it's the 12.0 version. Click on download and basically just go ahead and download the appropriate file for your operating system. You're going to see a Mac OS for Macs. You're going to see a Linux one for any Linux based machines, and then there's the Windows. So choose the one that you want to download and go ahead and do the installation. It's fairly simple. Just follow the prompts. Once you have downloaded and installed NetBeans, go to your source, go to the Module 2 section in your course shell and download the source code for Module 2, like so. You should end up with a zip file. And then double click on the zip file to expand it, and you're going to see those two files, the Java file and the text file. Now what you want to do is create a directory called Module 2. Okay, so create a directory called Module 2, and right underneath Module 2 you want to create another directory called Code. So let's go ahead and do that. So go right under the Module 2 directory and create a Code directory. So now this is how you're going to end up with a folder structure. You're going to see Module 2, under that you got Code. Now take the copy file content.java and move it right under the Code folder, just like that. And then take the file1.txt and move that right under Module 2. So you end up with the file right beneath Module 2. There you go, just like that. So now you have a Module 2 underneath, you got Code. Underneath the Code, you got the Java source file, and then you got file1.txt under Module 2. Now let's open up NetBeans. So go ahead and start up NetBeans. And then what we want to do is go to File, then click on New Project, and then click on Java with Ant, and then on the right hand side select Java project with existing sources, and then click the Next button. Now what we want to do is in the project folder, go ahead and click Browse, and let's go to the Module 2 folder. Okay, so select Module 2 right there, and then click on Open. So that's going to be your project folder, and then we want to change the project name to be the same as the Module 2 folder name. So change that to Module 2, just like that, so that it's the same as the folder. Click on Next. Now we want to add the source code files. So what you want to do is click on Add Folder, click on Code, which if you recall, it's right under Module 2, and click on Open. So now NetBeans knows that that's where your source code is. So go ahead and click on Next, and there it is. There's your source code. And then you just want to click on Finish, and in a few minutes you're going to see the whole project in NetBeans, and you're going to see source packages. Under that, if you expand, you're going to see the copy file content.java. And now what you want to do is, if you go and look back at your folder structure, you're going to see all of those files got created. Those are all the project files. Now let's go ahead and try and compile and run this. So to do that, you got two choices. You can either go to Run and then click on Run Project right there, yeah, or you can click on the play button on the toolbar, that button right there. I usually like to click the play button, so why don't we just go ahead and click that button. Alright, and then once you click that button, it's going to ask you where is the main class. In our case, we only have one Java class here, and that's where the main method is. So we're going to select that and click OK. And in a few seconds, you're going to see Build Successful. So that means your program ran successfully and was compiled successfully. So if you go back and look at your folder right there, you will notice that it created file2.txt, and that was the objective of this assignment. And if you open that, you're going to see the contents exactly the way it is supposed to be. And so that, folks, is basically the assignment, is just create this project, run it, make sure it compiles successfully, and then you see that file2.txt file, and that means that you did successfully. Now let's talk about how to export this project in order to deliver it to me in the core shell. So you go to File, you go to Export Project, and then select 2-zip. And what you want to do here is change the build zip path. You want to change that to somewhere where you want to put the file. We want to do it on the download folder here in this example. So I'm going to name this zip file as something more meaningful. I'm going to call it module2 underscore my first name and my last name. That typically would be the right way to do it for everybody. But important thing is make sure it's .zip, and it's right under the downloads folder. So it's called module2 my first name last name .zip, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on save, and that's going to change that path, as you can see. And now I'm ready to go ahead and export it. Now once it's exported, there's a little fluke in NetBeans. It creates a module22. Go ahead and delete that. We don't need that folder. And then what you should end up with is just the zip file. And that is the zip file that you need to submit in the core shell for that week's module. And that's how you do the export.